Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. Welcome in. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Let's Talk Turkey again here on a Saturday night. I'm gonna be live here for a little bit here, about an hour, the standard, and I've got a another edition of Ask Me Anything. In a couple minutes, I'm gonna open it up to everyone in the chat to ask me anything regarding Walt Disney World. So I'll do that in just a couple minutes. But for the purpose of the replay, it is March the 28th of 2026. And if you are on the replay, leave me a comment. If you are watching and you're liking what you're watching, don't forget to bop the like button. And if you're watching and you are not subscribed, you are warmly invited to do so. And you can join the Gobble Club. Um, although I'm seeing a suggestion here, Gobble Crew. I might actually redub it the Gobble Crew. But anyway, speaking of live chat, let me say hello to some friends in the live chat. I see Spencer Walker, welcome in. Hello. Matt Walter, hello, welcome in. Lyle, welcome in, hello. Tina McNeil, hello, and hello to Chuck as well. Hello, welcome in. And so, yeah. Julie McCowan, hello. Oh, Tina, that's okay. Actually, I think I actually like Gobble Crew better than Gobble Club. Um, Now you all, my moderators, you are the Gobble Squad. But the subscribers, um, is what I have been calling the Gobble Club. So, I'm gonna have to think about that a little bit. So, welcome in everybody. Hope you're having a great weekend. I have a pretty good weekend. I'm kind of in a little bit of a situation. Um, I'm in the process of gonna be trying to get a new to me vehicle. So I'm working through that process. Trying to sell the one I have, getting a new one. So keep me in your thoughts and prayers as I'm going through that process. And but it'll go smoothly, and I'll get some good wheels to get myself from here to there. Speaking of getting from here to there, I was down at Walt Disney World a couple days ago. On Thursday, I was at Animal Kingdom, and then I was at Epcot, and I had a good day. Um, really enjoyable. I have two streams on the channel from that day, and feel free to go check them out. At the beginning of my Animal Kingdom stream, Gloria Thibodeau, hello, welcome in. At the beginning of my Animal Kingdom stream, I did a little bit of a taste test. I picked up these Park Food Gummies. shaped like your favorite treats. Never skip leg day. You see that picture there with Mickey and the turkey leg? Yeah. Yeah. I had seen this. I was sent and this, and I also saw a post about it. Um, but I had gotten a pin as part of a set that had Mickey, doing the same pose, and it also said never skip leg day. So, but then they came out with these gummy treats, and so this did have turkey legs in there, but it also had the other park snacks, popcorn, Mickey pretzel, Dole Whip. It had like a mini cupcake. Um, I think maybe like a Mickey donut kind of a thing. Um, but anyway, so I tried them on the stream, and I gotta say, I mean, I haven't had gummies in a while, but these were pretty much, what you would expect from gummies. Um, so, as you might tell, the package is empty, but I saved it so I could mention it on the stream. Welcome in, Stephen Singleton. Hello, welcome in. Angie C, welcome in. Welcome in. Happy Saturday. So I had a good time um, at Animal Kingdom and Epcot on Thursday. Um, Timothy, welcome in. Hello. Welcome in to the stream. Welcome to Let's Talk Turkey. Jason Thibodeau. Hello, welcome in. And speaking of, before I open up the chat to questions, um, and I kind of lay down a couple of guidelines for the questions, I do want to shout out that yesterday I did the first episode of Once Upon a Turkey Leg, using the new format that I'm using for producing it, and it went up on the channel yesterday afternoon. I'm gonna kind of be playing with my days and my times exactly. I think next week I'm gonna start with Tuesday and Friday. There'll be two different episodes of Once Upon a Turkey Leg. But Once Upon a Turkey Leg is your opportunity to just relax and listen to a story being read. And I am the way it's gonna you're gonna watch it. It's kind of how it is a in a podcast format. So it's not a lot of chatter. There was a little bit more of an introduction on the first episode, just because of that it's the first Once Upon a Turkey Leg there, and just to kind of reiterate and explain how this series is. So next one should be up on Tuesday, and I may switch that up in the following weeks. But I did the Easter Beagle, Charlie Brown, and so really fun. And and the series Once Upon a Turkey Leg I did set it up as a podcast playlist here on my channel. So I'll have to add that to my description. I just updated my description. Anyway, about that. Once Upon a Turkey Leg. Watch for those to go up during the week, Tuesdays and Fridays, for now, and then and in a while, I'll review it in the future. And so anyway, welcome in everybody. Oh, Steven, I'm sorry to hear you're sick. I hope you feel better. Um, hope you're able to rest and get better quickly. Do do do. All right, guys. So I didn't have any subject planned really for the stream, except for opening up for um, questions. And I've opened this up to ask me anything for everyone to like ask me anything. Um, but tonight it's a little different than just anything, specifically Walt Disney World related. Anything to do with Walt Disney World. Um, what do I think about a ride attraction, Disney, a news item that's come out recently? Opinions, um, reviews, or something that I've possible travel information. I'll pick my brain, probably pick it, scrape the bottom of the barrel, but anything relating to Walt Disney World, um, what do I think they should do, in this park, anything related. So, um, that's kind of the subject matter that I'm looking for, and I'll just talk until I have nothing else to talk about. Um, keep it, the comment, keep it, the question, obviously as is standard, you want to keep your comments, friendly, clean, positive, and related to Walt Disney World. Speaking of which, Tina said, I'm still listening, but if I want to keep up with Dean when I go to Walt Disney World in November, I have started a walking regimen, so I'm going to be walking for the next 20 minutes. All right. Tina will be walking, and I'm going to be talking. So, worked for me. Um, so it's up to you guys. Ask me anything Walt Disney World related, and I will do I will answer it if it's something that I actually do not know. I will be honest. If I know anything about it at all, I will give you that. If there's part of the answer that I don't have, I'll reach out to a couple people and answer it um, on a future stream. So there's that. So ask me anything, guys. Ask me anything at all as it relates to Walt Disney World. While I'm waiting for the first questions to come in, I did not show these a couple weeks ago or a couple of Let's Talk Turkeys ago when I was doing the Disney movies, and I still have them over here, all of the VHS movies. I actually picked these two movies up at Goodwill. This is called A Day at the Magic Kingdom, and this is called A Day at the Happiest Place on Earth, which is Disneyland, and of course this is Walt Disney World, and these are kind of capturing and reliving the days, a day at the park. And this would have been, well, it's VHS obviously, so it's not really sure what year it is. Somewhere in the 90s maybe. Have to be the 90s. And I haven't watched these in a while, actually. But I picked these up at Goodwill. Um, I used to go into the Goodwill all the time, and I had a whole collection of the VHS tapes. Um, and so, really cool. Oh, do you, Lyle? Yeah, they there's just something very classic about uh, the VHS tapes. Very nostalgic. And then of course after the VHS came the DVDs, and then I still have DVDs. I should probably show DVDs uh, one day, one stream. But but yeah, so really fun, and you really get a sense. It's a snapshot of it's a snapshot of the parks at that time. Lyle says if I can ever find my old reel-to-reels, I have a few Disney on. Oh, okay. Wonderful. Dave Stragan, hello. Working and can't stay, but dropped in to leave a like. Oh, well, thank you, Dave. Hope you're not working too hard. It is a weekend, but I'm glad you could pop in and say hi. So, guys, um, ask me anything. Is there anything at all you guys, really want me to, um, really want to ask me about Walt Disney World? This would be your time. Um, so yeah. Here we go. Angie C is asking me a very, very good question. So, sit down at Epcot. I've only done a couple of the sit downs. I've done Nine Dragons at China and Epcot, which I just did uh, recently, and I really like it. I'm a huge fan of Chinese food. Um, and then I also ate at the Coral Reef, which is in the seas, and that's a really good experience. I have to say, I don't know if I can call it a favorite, just because I have such a limited experience, especially like recent years um, at Epcot specifically. But I have to say, theming wise, I think that I definitely do like the Coral Reef. Um, because you sit down, the dining area is right there with the aquarium, and you see the fish swimming by, the sharks, and everything. It's really cool. And it's tiers. They have three different tiers. And so there's not really a bad seat in the place. And when I went, we were seated on the second tier. So it wasn't right there on the glass, but you could see. It's kind of like in a movie theater where if you go down front, yeah, you're close, but you've got to look up at the screen. So if you go, back, go, up some rows in the movie theater, you're more like right on the screen. Kind of like that. It was kind of like right there. Kind of a straight, view across. Um, so I have to say so far as theming, definitely the coral reef, the theming, and the atmosphere. As far as the menu, I'd have to go with the Nine Dragons. Um, just because, and the coral reef what I had at Coral Reef, and I'm trying to remember what I had. Um, Seems like I had something pasta, maybe like it seems like maybe I had fettuccine alfredo or a shrimp alfredo or something like that, which I love. But the for the menu, I there were some things on the menu of Coral Reef that I'm not sure I wanted to go for. So I think Nine Dragons is probably for the menu so far, and I'm trying to think. Oh, 1 second, guys. Okay. There are some sit-down restaurants that I would like to go to in Epcot. Um, the one in Mexico, not the one inside the pavilion, but the one outside the pavilion. I'd like to try that. I'd kind of like to try the one in Morocco that's on the water there. Um, I'm trying to think. Um, anyway, hope that kind of answers the question. I've been to a handful of sit downs around Disney. I've not been to like a ton of them, all of them. But yeah, anyway, hope that answers the question. Um, Lyle says, "Do you ever see them bringing back the People Mover at Disneyland?" Good question, Lyle. Uh, mm, Paul Engel, welcome in, Paul. Hope you're having a great weekend. Uh, I will be having. Well, stay tuned, guys. I will tell you about Paul Engel at the end of the stream. But welcome in, Paul. Hope you're having a great night. So, Lyle asked, do you ever see them bringing back the People Mover at Disneyland?" Um, I have to be honest, Lyle. Um, I personally don't. Sadly, I think I think it's too far, in the past. They're gonna have to like do a lot of remodeling and revamping on the track if they're going to use the same track, and if they're not going to use the same track that they have in Disneyland, then they're going to have to rebuild something else, and it's going to be too much. Um, I'm not sure I even see them using that track for anything else. If anything, they're probably just going to remove the track and maybe, you know, move on with something else. That's just kind of my based on what I know about it. I'm not a huge expert on the Disneyland, but just from what I know, that's, my thoughts on it. I I hope I am pleasantly surprised and proved wrong, but I do not think that Disneyland will move or bring the people mover back. Unfortunately. So, um, would it be great for them to? Oh yeah. It would definitely would. It definitely would be great for them to do that. But I do not see them doing that. So, um, guys, my eyes have been bugging me again today. I need to step away for just a moment. I'm going to turn off the camera really quickly, kind of treat my eyes here. Give me 1 second. Keep asking questions. Give me some questions. All right, there we go. Oh, I spilled some water on my. Sorry about that, guys. Curtis family, Chris, hello, welcome in. Angie asked, "Is Magic Kingdom the only park that celebrates Easter?" Um, you know what, Angie? Um, I don't know if any of the other parks are doing anything for Easter besides Magic Kingdom. I kind of think so. If there's another park that's doing anything, possibly Hollywood Studios. Um, actually, well, no, there is an Easter egg hunt in Epcot. Um, so they are doing that. Um, and of course, there's, if you want to call putting out the merch, celebrating Easter, I guess there's that. But I know Magic Kingdom has the Easter cavalcade. Um, and so, but besides that, I'm not really sure. I know there's, the resorts, which they're not parks, but the resorts, some of the resorts have their Easter egg displays around, and it's kind of scattered. Um, but besides that, I'm not actually sure. Um, John Corndog, welcome in. Yes, thank you. Epcot has the Easter egg hunt going on. Yes, absolutely. Welcome in. Welcome in. Lyle asks, when did your love for Disney start? I'd have to say, the seeds for the love of Disney probably did start when I was very young. I first went to Disney when I was 4, and with my family, the family had Disney passes for a couple years, and then I went from time to time as I was growing up, and then really maybe 7 years ago, I was really when I really started getting more into visiting Disney. I was interested in Disney. I kind of wanted to go visit Disney World and, Disney in general. I grew up, watching, uh, some of the films, and, so it kind of was there. Not maybe it was a love, but it wasn't like an obsession. I can't really say I'm at an obsession level to this day, but I'd have to say it started, definitely started when I would have been 4 years old, the first time that I went to Disney. And then I've kind of, I've stayed in touch with the parks, and I've gone, I went with my dad on a couple of the birthdays. I went with, um, with growing up, like I said, here and there. And then it really kicked into high gear. I want to say about 7 years ago, 2019-ish, 2018. I started, well, 2019, I guess. I was starting to kind of work my budget and set aside money to get a pass. I would have gotten a pass on my birthday, which is April, early April. I would have gotten a pass on my birthday in 2020, but well, we all know what happened in 2020. So that was delayed a little bit till later that year, and I got some of the little multi-day things that Disney put out, like later in 2020 and 2021, and then I did eventually get a pass, and so Hope that answers that question. Do 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 do. Let me scroll down here. Robin, there's Robin. I Heart Disney. Hello. Oh, thank you, John. Thank you. Yeah, my birthday is coming up. Um, a week from no, a week. Well, it's on the 6th, April the 6th. So that is a week and a day from tomorrow. Lyle asks, and guys, if you have any questions about Disney, it is Ask Me Anything Walt Disney World Edition. Ask me anything about Walt Disney. Anything about the parks, my favorites, Disney. We could open it up to anything regarding Disney, I guess. Um, if it's anything, my opinion, my review, commentary, you name it. Lyle says, if you were to stay at any of the resorts on Disney property, which two do you recommend and which two are your favorite? Or yeah. So I haven't actually stayed at any of the resorts on property. So I can really only answer favorites in terms of like the theming. How do I like the theming? I'd have to say my top two on that are probably if I'm narrowing it down to two, I'm probably going to go with the Fort Wilderness Campground, which isn't a resort per se, but it is, but it isn't. The cabins at Fort Wilderness. I always wanted to stay there. I still do, but I'm not as impressed with appearance-wise the new cabins that they just did, um, a couple years ago. But I would still like to go stay in a Fort Wilderness cabin, just because of the setting. It's serene, peaceful, and I'd like to spend some time at that campground resort area, enjoying it and exploring. Um, and then kind of staying in that same area, I'd say the Wilderness Lodge, just because I still kind of like that, the theming and, the particular feel of it. Um, you know, although that kind of ties, I really do like, the Polynesian, the theming of the Polynesian. I'm really not a fan of the location necessarily because of like the the busyness. I would love to stay in one of those bungalows that the Polynesian has. The only problem with that is it's right there on the water and you have the parking ferry over there, and you've got the other, boats too, so you've got the honking and everything. Um, so while I like the theming of the Polynesian, I'm not that crazy about how busy it is. But I love stopping in at the Polynesian, and I love the theming there. But as far as staying, I would personally go with the Wilderness Lodge or the Fort Wilderness Campground. If you're talking, want to go, I could give a couple that I like that are more maybe moderate to value priced, which doesn't mean a lot at Disney anymore, but I like the Art of Animation Resort, and um, I need to get down there, sometime soon. Um, but I like the art of animation, and I like the Port Orleans Riverside, particularly. Um, it just has a nice kind of a relaxed feel to it. But I haven't actually stayed um, at Walt Disney World just because I live here. I would like to go and kind of, have a staycation, but the main thing that is kind of keeping me from going is the money. It's always the money. John says, my favorite stay was at the Wilderness Lodge. Not too gaudy, but still very nice. It was in December, so they had the huge Christmas tree in the lobby. Yeah. And I don't think I've ever been over there at Christmas. I don't go to Disney a ton. And like this past season, when I went down there, I was in the parks, and that just took up all my energy and my time. So I'm gonna have to be a little better with visiting the resorts. Um, the Wilderness Lodge Christmas tree is one of the three largest Christmas trees at Walt Disney World. Oh, I didn't know that. Interesting. Monk's Disney Strolls, hello, welcome in. Welcome in, glad to see you. So, so hope that answers that question. Let me see. So yeah, so that's my answer for that. Hope that helped. Hope that answered that for you, Lyle. Spencer Walker, hello. Um, so yeah, any more questions you guys wanna ask? Um, Open book. I am an open book. Anything at all. Anything at all. I'm gonna re-show because this is so stinking cool. In case any of you missed this, a couple weeks ago, I bought this at the Boardwalk Resort, which is another really, I like the theming at Boardwalk as well. I bought this. This is a postcard. Really, really fun. It's got all the characters on it. Really, really amazing. Angie said, do you ever buy Disney merch at the parks? Well, yes. I bought the postcard. Um, I bought this pin, and I showed this a couple weeks ago, but I bought myself the happy birthday pin here. I also bought this other pin, which is still here, has not gotten put away yet. This American Adventure pin. So yeah, I do have a small collection of the pins. Of course, I've shown, I bought the and I think it counts as merch, but the because you get a prize, but the scavenger hunts with um, you know, at Epcot. All right, so Lyle asks a question. I see one from Tina, and I see one from Mandy Adams. Hello, Mandy Adams. Welcome in. Hope you're having a great weekend. Okay, let me go down. Now I've got three. Ask and you shall receive, right? If Magic Kingdom was to bring back past fireworks shows, which one would you like to see them bring back? Easy. Wishes. I would love if they brought back Wishes. I would like, since they've gone into the projector or the projection, thing, I really kind of like them to, I'd like them to, keep the same soundtrack because it's great, but using that, build, create projections, put on the castle and Main Street and kind of do it a Wishes 2.0. But I love Wishes. I mean, Wishes is um, just as good in my book as Happily Ever After. And I think, if they did kind of plus it up and do projections, leaving the same dialogue, the same everything, I think it would just be great. So definitely wishes. Wishes on that. Uh, Tina McNeil asks, besides turkey legs, what's your favorite snack or food item? So keeping in the snacks, I am going to say the Dole Whip, particularly a Dole Whip float with pineapple juice and the pineapple, the Dole Whip with the pineapple juice. So, and I really enjoyed. I want to try it again. Is the lime Dole Whip? I only had that once, but I would like to have that again. Then we have Mandy Adams said, "Where would you have a character meal?" Mandy, that is a very good question. Um, I think it'd be fun to be at the Crystal Palace, actually. I think the Winnie the Pooh characters are a lot of fun. I think, I'm trying to think what are the other character um, breakfast. I know the one at Animal Kingdom, the Tusker House. That seems like it's got fun characters. But I think right at the top might be Crystal Palace. But I've actually not done a character meal. So, I'd say really any character meal that I can get, and do, um, would probably be really fun. Uh, um, Lyle says, yes, that was my favorite. And yeah, the charcuterie board, the captain's board, that was really good. It was really good. I really enjoyed that. Um, Robin says, Dean, do you have a particular show you like at Disney? And if so, why? I wouldn't say any in particular. I could go through each park and just tell you maybe which one I like in each park. So let me start. Um, Magic Kingdom's kind of a tough one, but I do enjoy the Tiki Room just because it's the most classic of all of the shows at Magic Kingdom. I do like the Tiki Room. Um, Mickey's PhilharMagic I do enjoy too because of the music and it's the 3D and everything. That's a lot of fun. Um, at Epcot, I do probably my favorite is the American Adventure. Um, I really like it. The music in there, the song, um, the message, the story that it tells. Right there at the top. And I do enjoy the China and the Canada shows that are the 360 vision. Those are really enjoyable as well. But I think American Adventure is kind of more at the top, above those. Hollywood Studios show. I'm trying to think. Um, it's probably a tie between the Beauty and the Beast and probably Beauty and the Beast. And a close second would probably be the villains, not the villains. The what is it? Why can't I think? Frozen, the Frozen sing along. That'd probably be the close second. Um, at Hollywood, then at Animal Kingdom, I'd have to say my favorite. Now I haven't done the bird show, the feathered flights, flight and feathers or whatever it is, um, in a long time, and I've seen it on. Hold on, guys, cushion. Um, I'd have to say the Finding Nemo show is really fun. Um, I do enjoy the Lion King show. I don't like the seating necessarily, and the seating's really similar at Finding Nemo. But if I had only time for one of those shows, I would probably pick the Finding Nemo show. Um, and and I guess so. I guess Finding Nemo would be first, and the Lion King show would be the close second on that. So. Paul Engel says, I want to try the I Lava You float at MK. Did I try that? No, I didn't try that. That looked That looked actually good, Paul. The what did what did I have at Magic Kingdom? I had the citrus swirl. I think I had the citrus swirl. Huh, okay. John asked, trapped on a deserted island with one Disney villain. Who and why? Um, well, that's a very interesting question. So I'm probably not going to pick any of the ones that have the magical powers. So, let's see. Looking at my Disney movies here, which villain do I want? Hmm, very interesting. I don't really know. Probably, um, that is a very good question, John. I think I'd probably go with maybe, probably Cruella de Vil. She wasn't actually, I know she is a villain and she's bad, but if you think about her in the movie, she didn't actually do anything, evil. She had Horace and Jasper, and to do her work, and she just yelled and everything. And, I kind of feel like after a while on the island, she might shut up. So I'm going to go with Cruella de Vil. Karen Sanders, welcome in. Hello, welcome in. Do 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 do. Sippity doo dog, hello, welcome in. I'm catching up on chat. Oh, Hades for a sense of humor. No, no, Tina, not Gaston. He just brags too much. He's too braggy. I can't deal with that. Don't you deserve the best? Not on the tropical island, I sure don't. Oh, good question. Do I have a favorite Disney animal movie? I guess I have to pick one. Well, I guess my favorite movie is an animal movie, Dumbo. And it's because I kind of touched on this a couple weeks ago when I talked about the movies. Just because of Dumbo's, I would say Timothy Mouse is because of his friendship to Dumbo, his willingness to kind of go against the norm and, defy, what he's supposed to, do and, willing to stand up for Dumbo and encourage him on and help him to fly and get, go beyond his, physical uniqueness. Um, and so that's why Dumbo um, well, that's Timothy Mouse. Dumbo because he he actually he took that advice and he did rise above his challenges and didn't let his what he was going through, his struggles, didn't let his struggles keep him down. He flew, you know um and at the end of the movie, he proved to everyone who he was, and he got his mom back, and so Dumbo, definitely Dumbo. Yeah, Tina, Gaston does not have magical powers or sharp teeth. Cruella de Vil didn't. As long as you don't give her a car on the island, I think Cruella might calm down. I don't know. Maybe I regret that choice, but Strawberry Field Fairy, hello, welcome in. Um, Lyle says for me, I'd have to say Fox and the Hound because they didn't let their differences stop them become friends. They saw, yeah, that is a great movie too. Fox and the Hound, I've been thinking about it lately, and I think Fox and the Hound, because of that, might actually take a second number two place and kind of bump the Jungle Book down a little bit there. Bambi too. Bambi had it rough there, losing his mother, completely. He had, the bully trouble in the forest there with Rocco or whatever his name was, and then the forest fire, and then he ended up, rising up to, at the end of the film, he's the great prince of the forest now. And so, Bambi too, for that matter. Um, so, all right, well, we're almost to an hour. Any last minute questions you guys want to ask? Um, so I mentioned Paul Engel, and I think Paul might still be here, but I am scheduling um, a a time in a couple of weeks here, about 3 weeks. Paul Engel will be coming on the show along with Stephanie. Um, Steph's Joy in the Journey. Stephanie helps Pete McDevitt on the Triple C show, and then Paul has been on some in a lot of the chats on screen here and there. But Pete McDevitt has a problem of not letting Paul be on his show for some reason. I don't know what's going on. So I'm giving Paul um, the. I'm going to have Paul on. We're going to talk. We're going to have a great time with Stephanie because they're married. And, yeah, Stephanie Keel. Um, and so I'm looking forward to that. Um, It'll be coming up here in April. I'm looking forward to that hangout and chat time with Paul and Stephanie. So looking forward to that, Paul and Stephanie too. Um, Next week, what is next week? Next week is the day before Easter. Going to be talking about Easter. I was going to move my put my birthday into there as well with Easter, but I've actually decided to not. We're going to be focusing on Easter chat, um, and no, John, I'm not gonna bump Polly Angle. That's a Pete thing. Um, Lyle, I'll get to that in 1 second. Thank you for asking. That's a good question. Um, Let me see. What else was I going to talk about? Coming Monday. Speaking of coming Monday, guys, it is the return of Rooster Mode Activated Monday morning at 8 a.m. I will be live for a chat to get you going, get you started on your Monday and your week. I've been missing this. I've been dealing with my stuff. You guys know it, but I'm ready to bring it back. So it's coming back to Mondays. So this Monday, it's the comeback um, of Rooster Mode Activated. The Monday after that is my birthday. So we're going to have an early morning um, birthday party, birthday celebration. It's going to be birthday themed. I'm not sure how I'm going to birthday theme it, but absolutely. Um, Let me answer Lyle's question here. If you can have one certain ride brought back at Magic Kingdom that they took out, which would it be? Honestly, I would like to have them bring back, and there's probably a couple that I would pick, but probably is a tie between Snow White, the Snow White's adventures or scary adventures, um, or Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. But I wouldn't want to replace, um, I wouldn't want to replace the rides back. I want there to be some kind of a true expansion or some way to include all and I guess the ride didn't take over Snow White, but like I wouldn't want to get rid of the Winnie the Pooh ride. I want to put Mr. Toad in somewhere else. I'd want to put um, what was the other one I just said? Why can't I remember stuff? I took my vitamins today. Why can't I remember? I said Mr. Toad and Snow White. So yeah, I'd want them to go in somewhere else. Um, but those would be actually my two. John. I heart. Robin says, "Is there any Peanuts related things?" Um, not that I've not that I've noticed that are new. I mean, I've got the Easter Beagle story that I read, that's up on the channel. Um, but I haven't noticed, I haven't really seen a lot of Peanuts Easter things. I really haven't been at the stores a lot lately, so I don't know. Possibly. I just haven't seen them. Me too, Angie. Mark Langenkamp, hello, cock-a-doodle-doo. Welcome in. Oh, Surf Bomb, welcome in. Coming out of Ninja Mode. Well, welcome. Thank you for coming out of Ninja Mode to say hello. I'm scrolling down because I cannot keep up with chat. The Mr. H. Well, welcome in. Hello from South Florida. Moving into to Orlando in 1 week. Hope to give you a high five soon. Awesome. Well, and I don't think I've seen you in the chat before, but I hope your move goes smoothly. Um, yeah. Not sure when. I don't have another. Um, Actually, I am going down to Disney Springs on the 6th on my birthday. So after I sign out of Rooster Mode Activated, I'll be heading down to Disney Springs for a little peruse um, around there for a couple of hours. Um, Diz Beach Dell. Hi, Dean. How old are you? You look so young to me. In your 20s. Hi, everyone. I am forever young. I am a lot. I'm not going to give an exact number, but yes, I do appear to be a lot younger than I am. But thank you. Thank you. Welcome in. Not so scary, Mary. Hello. Welcome in. Laura Jam. Hello. Welcome in. Miss Neary. Welcome in. All right. Let me scroll back again and make sure so yeah, so that does it. So Monday morning, 8 a.m. Cock-a-doodle-doo. Rooster Mode Activated is coming back. So excited. I'm gonna get you woken up, and I'm gonna wake you up, and I'm gonna get you going, and I'm gonna get you going well on your Monday and your week. Looking forward to that. Big Ben Theory. Uh, yeah, Big Ben Theory. Hello, welcome in. Laura Jam had a question. Hold on. Sorry, Laura. Laura asked a. Okay, Laura, let me find your question. Laura. Dean, would you work in a Disney park? You know what? I've thought about it, but I've come to the conclusion that I personally do not want to work for Disney. I'd rather go enjoy Disney just as a guest, and that's just for me personally. I know there's a lot of people, Disney has great cast members and um, they enjoy doing that work and, making the magic and everything. Um, I am very convinced and sure that I know that I don't think I would want to work for Disney. I've considered possibly maybe pursuing maybe like a Disney travel agent type of a gig, but that would be more for either myself or for a company that does that besides Disney. But yeah, so not really. I just want to go and enjoy it as a guest and enjoy the magic from that perspective. And I think um, I don't know. I feel like if I worked for Disney, I would personally not enjoy Disney as much. Um, so, yeah, thank you for that question. Let me scroll back. All right. Well, any last questions, guys? Last minute questions? Ask me anything, Walt Disney World. I'll leave it open for another minute before I sign off. So, yeah, Monday, Rooster Mode Activated. Um, Next Saturday, um, Let's Talk Turkey. Gonna be doing Easter. Ooh, it must be Thursday. Drunk that like a fish. uh, Robin said, "What is your favorite nighttime show?" That is a very deep question. I would like now of the one that I've seen the most in the recent years is Luminous. Um, I like Luminous. I like Happily Ever After. I like Phantasmic. F- just from what I've seen on screen, I kind of would like to see it in person. Problem is, I don't think I would be that comfortable in that seating there. Because I remember, the seating there. At least they have seating. I that is a plus, but I don't think I would necessarily enjoy seeing it live. It's because of being the crowds. But then Happily Ever After is very crowded. I'm not exactly answering your question yet, but I would kind of like to see Happily Ever After from Fantasyland. That would be a very unique perspective, and I might do that sometime soon, if I can. So at some point, whenever I can. Um, but I'm gonna have to go with, I don't know. See, there's things that I like about the shows currently. I'm gonna have to say just barely. I'll say Luminous just barely over Happily Ever After. There's things about both those shows that I like. So I don't know that there's really, a runaway answer. So, but just barely, I'm gonna say Luminous. Um, so hopefully that kind of answers the question. Mark says, never make your pastime your job. That is a good point. Spencer Walker says, Phantasmic. Mark says, Let's Talk Turkey is my favorite nighttime show. Cue the brown nosing emoji. The brown nosing emoji? I'm not sure what that means, but I'm glad you enjoy the show. Uh, so, I do want to update you guys. Um, I might have just given it away in how I worded my answer. But on this, I've been telling you guys because it does relate to the channel and what you're gonna see the content. I have been telling you that I was struggling different factors. I won't go through all the different factors, but different factors on whether or not um, I'm gonna renew my Disney Pass. So when I was at Epcot on Thursday, when I got there, when I hopped over from Animal Kingdom to Epcot, and before I went in, I made a stop at the ticket window, and I did renew my pass. So I am a AP for one more year. Richard, Disney Magic and Mayhem, hello, ka-chow, welcome in. So yes, I did renew my pass. So I am a pass holder for another year. So you will have Disney content, um, for a while. Unfortunately, I'm now in 2 weeks of blockout dates. Yay! Thank you, Disney, for blocking out the next 2 weeks. I'm blocked out on my birthday. That's why I'm going to be just at Disney Springs on my birthday. It's better. Something is better than nothing. But yes, I'm going to be, um, I'll be planning my next dates. Now that I am renewed, I will, I need to get back to Hollywood Studios. Um, when I wasn't sure, I kind of reverted to going to a couple of the other parks that I wanted to see. But so probably you'll see a Hollywood Studios stream coming up in a couple of weeks. Tonio Tower, welcome in. Thank you, Miss Neary. Thank you, Tony. Yeah, so excited. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, I am really happy that I did. And so I'll be able to bring you some Disney. Now, over the summer, um, I'm probably not going to be going every week like I've been doing. It'll probably be every 2 to 3 weeks. I'll get down there. Um, Starting in like mid to late May, going through like early October. I'm gonna not really be down there a lot because of the heat. I learned last year that it worked out for me to be there first thing in the morning and leave by noonish one. Um, you know, and then I go, a couple weeks. But let me see. Um, yeah, Laura Jim, they pretty much answered your question. Disney, Disney blocks out dates on the lower of the tier passes, and actually the plus side of it is that Disney blocks out the most busy times. I will say that I will say that I will say that I will say that's the kind of the silver lining is that they actually block out the more busy dates. Like they blocked out last week, not this past week, but the week before for like the spring break. This next couple of weeks for like Easter and more spring break. I'm not sure what their excuse is for. I guess it's all Easter because Easter's on the next weekend, so they're thinking. I don't know what they're thinking. Anyway, they do that like the second half of December, basically, and the first maybe few days of January. Those are blocked out for, Christmas and New Year's. So they block out the busier dates, which is great, but it's kind of, it's kind of stinks when you really want to get down there. So, yeah. If you want to, what was I going to say? Hi, I'm Dory. Sorry, I just, isn't it though? It's way too hot in the summer. Yeah, it just, and I take, here's the thing, I bring water with me. I pack water bottles. I bring my electrolytes, stuff that I do. Um, I make it nice and cold, but still the heat gets me. I did invest in some cooling towels last year. I've got a really good fan. And so you bring all this stuff in there, and then the heat is 95,000 billion degrees. And, I want to go have some fun. And it is really good. Yeah, Tina, it might be. It actually, I may do that a little bit. Um, I may do that. That's a very good idea. Yeah, Tony, it is very much. All right, Tony, send me a private message. Tony, a private message when you have your dates, and I'll plan to come down and I'll do like a afternoon, evening visit. Neri says in the summer, maybe a little bit in the morning. Yeah. Let me know too when you guys have dates, Neri and Ben. I'd like to meet up with you guys sometime over the summer. I have the Pixie Dust Pass, so I can only go during the weekdays. That's my only little caveat. So if I'm not blocked out and if it's not a weekend, then I'm, really good. Will I live stream on my birthday? I will be live. I don't know if I'm gonna stream from. I don't know if I'm gonna stream from Disney Springs yet. I mean, I might as well. But for sure, I will be live in the morning for my Rooster Mode Activated. Gonna have a little chat. That's at 8 a.m. And then I might possibly do another stream from Disney Springs. Um, Probably the late morning, midday. But yeah, that'll be. Um, we broke Dean. No, Dean was broke already. John, Dean was broke already. Mark said, yeah, they need to move some heat to the winter. They need to move some of the cold to the summer. We just need here's what we need to whoever's doing the weather planning. We need to Florida especially. Florida needs like to like minus like 10 degrees. Okay? At least 10, maybe 12 uh degrees. So instead we're not in the um mid 90s, upper 90s, we go down to like mid 80s, low 80s. Um, you know, and then yeah, and probably less humidity. Can we like cut that humidity in at least half, if not like a third? So if you got the new the my weather app, I don't think that's a thing. Yeah, Lyle, and that kind of heat, yeah, hydrated, cooled off. Jane and Travels, hello, John and Nancy, welcome in. Angie says it went in August. Yeah, and the humidity is bad. Humidity is bad. And it's getting hot now already. Like Thursday, I was hot, but it's not terribly humid. There's humidity, but it was not like summer. It was nowhere near like summer. But you do have to be careful. So let me scroll back. I am missing. Yes, Tony. Yeah, definitely Tony. If you guys are coming to Disney, and I don't harp on this a lot, but if you are coming to Disney, um, you know, reach out to me. Um, I'm there. I'm near Disney. It's not that far away. I'm not there every day. especially, during the summer, I may not officially plan to be there every single week. Um, but, you know, um, I would like to, you know, come and meet up. If it's just in the morning, I can do morning. I can wake up in the morning. I wake up, I can wake up at first thing in the morning, be down and do, rope drop something and all that. And yeah, it was dangerous last year. Yeah, I got close on a couple of my visits, and Disney doesn't have a ton of shaded seating, air conditioned seating for that. And this kind of goes. I'm going to go on a little miniature rant before I get ready to sign off. And I talked about this at when I was at Epcot. We went over by where Mission Space is, and the where the gold dome is that used to be the Wonders of Life. That is space enclosed, just sitting there, unused, undeveloped. And what is Disney doing with it right now? Nothing. And they could very easily they could do something. They could do I don't know what, but they could do, they have so much, they own so much like, you know, um, IP that they could do something in there. They could even incorporate, maybe some more dining. They can make it like the festival center. I know they have that building in the World Showcase, the World, whatever they're calling it. But they could have that be. Remember the original art from when they were going to do this big, beautiful, wonderful thing in the middle of the front of Epcot, and they had remember the concept art, and they had the double story doohickey over there, the space. It was going to be like a festival space, and remember how like now it's not that. Um, well, they could kind of reuse that idea over there, and they can fix it up, do have some like booths in there, have a bunch of seating, so people can go in there and relax and cool off, and they could do something there. um so that's just my thoughts. Disney, maybe you can hire me to come up with some ideas. And then, of course, there's the mission space. I mentioned it on my stream. Mission space, they could do something with mission space at this point. They could do something. I'm sure they can do something space related. I'm sure not everyone's a fan of the IP going into the parks. They could do something with Wally. Wally could be, they have they have, I don't know, they could do Wally. Wally, something space related, something, and the environmental message would fit, the message that Wally is in Wally. They can do some kind of an attraction in there with Wally. And Disney, good point, Disney. They need to do the whole Mary Poppins thing in the UK. They should do that. They really need to do that. So, anyway, guys, I need to stop talking or else I'm going to just keep talking. So, thank you for tuning in, guys. Next Saturday, um, it's gonna be a very special, very important stream that I'm going to do for Easter. I'm going to do a special um, scripture reading scripture, I say scripture based reading for Easter, remembering the true reason of Easter. So it'll be more of a serious time. So hopefully you will come back next Saturday night and for Let's Talk Turkey. And but Monday morning, coming up Monday morning, 8 a.m. is the return of Rooster Mode Activated. Um, so, um, until next time, guys, take care. Have a gobble-tastic night. Um, I will see you. You'll see me next time. So thank you all on the replay. Thank you all Ninja watching. Thank you all in the live chat. Um, if you're not subscribed, again, consider subscribing. Chuck, yay! Okay. Um, and thank you to my Gobble Squad, my moderators. Thank you so much. And I forgot what else I was going to say something else while I signed off.